Hey, what's up, Forum? It's Gorilla Hands. Today's video is going to have me dissecting some more Black Ops Domination video, but this footage is not from one of my games. Whose gameplay are we taking a look at today?
You're breaking down SgtCortez, Gorilla. How you doing?
Good. Glad to have you on, man. Now, for this game you do a really good job of slaying the enemy team, but unfortunately you guys don't end up winning. I thought you could break down some of the techniques you like to use while playing Domination, and I'll talk about other approaches and options that were available to you that could have helped you win this game. And right here I just want to pause this opening route for a second to discuss your approach. I like the fact that you're not heading straight to B, and the reason that I like that approach is because normally in the initial stages of a domination game, there's almost always people on the enemy team that are going to hang back. They wait in different locations on their side of the map, and will attempt to pick off anyone rushing out in the open towards the B flag. And sure enough, like clockwork, if you pan back, you'll see two dudes sitting on the catwalk overlooking B. Instead of taking these guys head on, you can utilize flanking routes to take them out. Once they're cleared, it's going to make capturing B much easier. I'm not saying you always need to take long flanking routes in the beginning of a domination game. Just keep in mind there's normally one or two enemies lurking in the back, watching over B.
So, being a running gunner, I spent a lot of my time flanking and honing my reflexes, like right here. You know, there's a guy, I can't get the second guy, so I decided to take it on my own terms, and if it comes to that, I'll even do things such as halo jumping or drop shotting just to ensure that I get the kill.
Oh yeah, I really like what you did here, so let's take a look at this scene again. So after taking this first guy out, another enemy slips into your peripherals. Now if you simply turn and face him, there's a good chance he's going to win this gunfight. Instead, you make the quick decision to utilize the closest bit of cover available to you. Take a second to recompose yourself, and then re-engage him on your own terms. Nicely done.
So the UAV outside is showing a bunch of dots around C, so I try to use the Semtex to take him out, but that doesn't go so well, so I use my one remaining stun grenade to stun the guys outside the door, which gives me enough time to run out up the stairway, get out of that death trap, and then I can use this window to overlook B and kill anyone that might be capping B, or guarding it and just taking out opponents. And then I come back in here, knife the guy for the mortar team, and I'll put my claymore down and I'll start to set up shop for my SR-71.
So there's a positive and a negative about this situation. You managed to get your Blackbird, but at the cost of the A flag. If we take a look at this scene again, you do a good job of helping clear the enemies near B. Then once you pick up that knife kill to earn your mortar kill streak, you set up a claymore and remain in the room as your team captures B and loses A. The difference here is after planting your claymore, you should have went straight to the B flag. You've just seen 3 enemies killed in the last 5 seconds, so you know they're going to spawn back near C. You have the mortar strike that can cut off the enemies as they approach, and the claymore to warn you if anybody's coming from the catwalk room. Also, if you helped capture B, you would have been in prime position to move back to A to either prevent them from capping the flag, or at least have the ability to quickly recap A before the spawns flipped. I know the C flag is immediately in front of you, but I would have actually preferred you to ignore it completely, jump out of the window behind you, and start to head towards A. That might seem counterintuitive, but it's much easier to manage a game of domination on WMD if you're holding the B and A flags versus B and C. The AV side just has a lot more vantage points that easily allow you to keep the enemy pinned back at C, while also being able to defend A and B. Also, you could have used your SR-71 to safely guide you to the A flag. So you needed to capture the C flag since you were 3 capped. And as I mentioned before, it's much better to hold the A and B flags on this map. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner, the enemy team is taking advantage of this map control by positioning themselves in one of the popular vantage points. The problem with going down this center route when you only have C is that there will normally be someone camped in one of those windows. And from that position, he's going to see your feet well before you even know he's there. Your best bet in this situation is to take the left staircase or the right alley.
So here is just a situation of using perks to your advantage. I'm typically a guy who separates himself from his teammates, so Ghost is a necessity. And with Ghost, I can easily get behind enemy lines and do a bit of work, which will allow my teammates to move up on the flags and hopefully get some captures. I mean, right now, they hold A and B, and I'm hoping by holding them back and making them spawn near the back of A that I can provide enough kill cover for my teammates to capture B.
I like your intentions in this situation. You're trying to disrupt the enemy defenses just enough to allow your team a chance to recapture the B flag. The problem is your overall position. Being so close to A without capturing it is forcing the enemy team to spawn back near their silos. And from that spawn, they can quickly get back to several positions that will allow them to still defend B. Also from that spot, you can't effectively clear out all of their defenses surrounding the B flag. I think a better approach to reclaim B would be to attack them from the center building. That way you're not affecting spawn, you can attack them from different angles, and you can quickly drop down to B if you want to help recapture the flag.
So seeing how, reminding myself that I'm playing with randoms, can't really count on them, so I decided to take matters in my own hands, try to cap B myself. And even though I do get a double sticky kill, there's a guy through the smoke grenade that I completely neglect, and he ends up taking me out.
Yeah, in order to prevent this game from getting out of hand, you needed to grab B. After the double sticky, I would have made the same move on B. You were just unlucky that there was one guy left guarding the flag.
So being a running gunner, I know a lot about the maps and where exactly walls are and how to navigate them even when I'm blind. So here's a perfect example. The guy around the corner throws a flashbang up the stairs and I'm completely exposed. So what I do is I know where the wall is so I can bounce a stun grenade off of it, and then from a prone position I can take out the opponent who's still stunned and my flash is wearing off.
One of the techniques to prevent a team from running away with a game of domination is to grab the A and C flags, which you're doing right here. But once you secure the A flag, the enemy team almost immediately recaptures C. Now as you head back to C, you're faced with two choices. You can head right and try to stop the enemy forces coming from C and hope your teammates capture the B flag, or you can head left and capture the B flag yourself. If you look at the UAV, you can see that nobody's using Ghost. Everybody on the opposing team is appearing on radar. Also, you have two teammates in the center building in position to watch the enemy team as they come in from C. I think in this situation you need to go capture B yourself. The UAV is showing you the positions of all of your enemies, and you have at least some form of support from your teammates in the second floor windows. That way, once you hold A and B, you can start to cut into the lead that the enemy team has. And also, if they try to sneak around and capture A like they did in the beginning of the game, you're in an ideal position to prevent them. So you head right to try and keep the enemies back in their spawn and hope your team reclaims B. Fortunately, your team does manage to come in and capture B, but while this is happening, the enemy team sneaks back around and takes the A flag. Like I said before, if you had chosen to head towards B, you would have captured the flag at a faster rate due to your teammates' support, and you would have had a chance to interfere with the guys trying to capture A.
So I see I have two teammates up near C, and I'm going up to help reinforce their line. Hopefully, we can take C and triple cap to try to make up this deficit. But at the same time, I'm forgetting that we're flipping the spawn and we're pushing them at A, so they're in the process of taking A right now while we're pushing up towards C, and that ends up not working out for us at all because they end up taking A, and we're back at a disadvantage, I guess, by taking B and C.
Yeah, you're right. At this stage of the game, if you guys had held on to A and B for the remainder of the match, you would have won 200 to 194. There's no need to triple cap or even be in their spawn. For this situation, you want to avoid being in any location that distances you from A and B or could potentially flip their spawn. So you would have wanted to stay out of the red square that is displayed on the screen now. Staying in this blue area would have been the ideal place to patrol and help keep your flags locked down. So you do a good job of pushing from their C flag back towards A, and you again make good use of cover as you prep the Semtex to take out the enemy overlooking B. You also make a nice transition from that grenade kill to the guy who's attempting to capture the B flag. And you make it back to help recap A, but the problem is there's nobody left to defend B. In a game like this, staying in the right position is key, and that means staying close enough in range that you can react quickly. If you were running between the A and B flags, you would have had the opportunity to stop them from ever capturing A in the first place, and in turn could have focused your attention on B when they tried to capture that flag. The game is practically out of reach at this point. Your only hope is to 3-cap, and that's a long shot. But you do make it to the A flag, and with the SR-71, you could have tried to capture that flag and work towards the miracle win.
Yeah, I understand that. The reason I think pulling off was even though we do have the SR-71, if I'm killing them up by the towers, then they're going to spawn by the back of the A building, and even though you have the SR-71 up, it's not going to protect you every single time. So I figured if the combination of me and my teammates getting kills would have enough people back behind me so that I couldn't take them all out while I was capping A solo.
Well, this game is wrapping up, and you did a good job slaying the opposing team. I just think you missed out on a couple of key opportunities to capture the B flag, and with the constant pressure that the enemy team presented towards A, it would have been in your best interest to avoid getting deep into their C spawn when you guys held A and B. Thanks, Cortez, for hopping on and sharing some of your gameplay,
No problem.
and as always, take it easy.